Hi everyone, our team name is Buying in Bulk. Obviously, we all love shopping at Costco, but we each discovered our favorite thing to do was buy the rotisserie chicken. We are doing our presentation on the voting paradox. Team decision making can be difficult, especially with the differing perspectives and opinions of the team. That is why we decided to focus on the problem of teams not being able to decide and why the voting paradox usually worsens that problem. Usually, the problem with decision making is not the team itself. It is the process they use to make a decision. So what exactly is the voting paradox? Commonly, when there are only two options for a team to decide on, it's easy to see which option has the majority vote. However, when there are three or more options and there is no clear majority winner, team members naturally rank the options, and any decision the CEO makes will only be supported by a minority of team members. This is known as the voting paradox. The voting paradox can lead to a dictator by default. The CEO is forced to choose one of the options that only the minority supports. Once a decision is made, people who disagree will most likely stay quiet, and there will ultimately be a lot of people dissatisfied with the outcome, but no one voicing it. This example from the book by Bob Frisch in the chapter When Teams Can't Decide illustrates the circular movement of the voting paradox. If the boss picks BMW, then 2/3 would have preferred a Lexus. If the boss picks Mercedes, then 2/3 would have preferred BMW, and on and on. This is a perfect example of the wrong way to handle the voting paradox. In this episode of The Office, Michael becomes aware of a budget surplus. Half of the office wants a new copier, half of the office wants new chairs. Or Michael could take 15% of the surplus himself.
All right, attention everyone.
Let me call you right back. Okay.
I have made my decision. We do not need a new copier. We do not need new chairs. This copier is working perfectly.
That's the original.
As you can see, Michael becomes a dictator by default. Given all the problems with decision making, there are strategies teams can use to make decisions where everyone is in consensus on what is decided. One strategy for decision making is specifying the desired outcome. Talking about exactly what you want the team to accomplish keeps everyone working towards the specific goal. It also prevents people from going after their own selfish desires because everyone is actively working towards the group outcome. Another strategy for decision making is providing a range of options for achieving the desired outcome. This allows for teams to get creative to reach their goal. Rather than only having the options be A, B, C, or D, the option can also be abracadabra. Ultimately, this allows many options and not just a straight path to achieving the desired outcome. Finally, a third strategy for decision making is testing fences and walls. The idea for this is to determine if an obstacle can be jumped over, a fence, or if the obstacle is immovable, a wall. This prevents team members from thinking an obstacle shuts down the idea immediately and makes it impossible. It also encourages team members to think outside the box and get creative with overcoming obstacles. We want more people to think like this guy, trying to go through the fence. Ultimately, decision making doesn't need to be as hard as it is for so many teams. If teams just follow set strategies for decision making that allow for creativity, conflict, and a range of options to surface, a team can end up making really good decisions in an effective way. Teams just need to remember all the different strategies for making decisions while avoiding the voting paradox, and CEOs also need to remember not to be a Michael.